Jim Gale is undoubtedly one of my best friends. Jim Gale is a rock star. Jim Gale from foodforestabundance.com. See, when you get a video like this, folks, it is up to you folks to get it out there. It's not like maybe you should put it out there. No, you watch the video, you get entrenched, you get to understand the importance of getting this message out. And then it's you, the rock stars, the real rock stars, you guys. Without you guys, all of us podcasters are DOA, dead on arrival, including Mel Carmine. I'm only one person. I can only do one thing with one finger. You know what I mean? But when we got a lot of fingers moving, we can get a lot of shit done. Everybody doing a little bit equals a lot, folks. And you are on the team. When you understand that you are the most important part of this whole equation, it don't matter. Look, I understand that guys like myself and Jim Gale are not afraid to get a microphone and a camera and do what we do. But the reality is we need you folks to really move it forward because the algorithms are so against us. It's not even funny. They're stacked so against us that these people are moving heaven and earth to try and win this war. I'm telling you, we're winning, but we cannot become complacent. Complacency has no place in this war. We depend on you folks to override the algorithms, to get out there. If you guys are, smart with technology and you know how to really get stuff out real fast, do it. We need all hands on deck. We can't do it without you. I'm telling you. The reality is, folks, these people mean business. They still think they have a shot at winning. I'm telling you, they don't. You know who's got a shot at winning? Humanity. You know who's got a shot at winning? Energy technology that will allow your body to heal the body. You know it's got potential, the fact that you can grow food in your own backyard. You know how I envision this going down? I'm going to tell you flat out. I envision that at some point there's going to be still enough dumb people in the world that Mel Carmines of the world, there's many of us, including some of you guys, don't want to deal with the bullshit. And whatever remnants of that is still here, we don't want to deal with it anymore. And we're going to probably create these gated communities. We're going to bring in the Jim Gales of the world that teach us how to do it. And we're going to have an abundance of food, an abundance of everything. And everybody brings something to the table of very, very important importance. And we're going to get this job done the right way. And this will be the model going forward. I want to build my own tribe because I want to wake up next to a Jim Gale. I want to love to say, Jim Gale lives next door to me. Arcana Shores lives across the street from me. Kabbalah Guru, Gila Jed lives right down the road in that same gated community with an abundance of everything. The cleanest food, the cleanest everything, with a brain thrust of people that understand naturopathic doctors, chiropractors, acupuncturists, energy healers, everything, the best of everything. You know why? Because we deserve the best and nothing less. But it takes all of us, folks. See, I will tell you in no uncertain terms, we are literally at the final bend of this war, and we're going to see the finish line very, very soon as Trump comes back. There's a lot of people out there that aren't fans of Trump. Yesterday, I was on a live space, whatever you want to call it, with what's his name? I can't think of his name. Damn it, I'm the worst with names. Bear with me. Stu Pearson, I believe his name is Stu Pearson. He was a long time ago made very famous on Alex Jones. He went off on his own. He's so anti-Trump and so anti-Jew. I was getting to throw up on this podcast. They allowed me to talk as soon as I talked, and I was making a lot of sense because a lot of people would give me kudos with the emojis. They immediately stopped my microphone and they wouldn't allow me to talk anymore. It's okay. It's fine. I don't take it personal. I understand. But the reality is, if you go against Nasara and Jassara, that means you want to stay in the three-dimensional world. If you laugh at Nasara or Jassara, that means you are accepting the three-dimensional world that doesn't work anymore. This world is broken for 30, 40 years. The system has been broken for 30, 40 years. It needed to be replaced back then. Now it's beyond repair. You can't repair what we have. Nasara and Jassara, whether you like the name or don't like the name or you poo-poo the name, it doesn't fucking matter. What matters is that if you read that paper, that document that allows everybody to pay a tax on things you want, not things you need, on things you want, not things you need. a flat tax where nobody can get away from paying that tax. There's a lot more money in the cash register with that. And I will go to my grave saying that. There's a lot more money in the cash register with that than any other thing. And I don't care if your name is Trump Jr. or Ivanka Trump, you have to pay that flat tax just like everybody else. Nobody can find the loophole to get away. It doesn't matter whether you're Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. It don't matter. You know what matters? That everybody has to pay. And the property taxes go away. That makes sense to me. Who the hell wants to, oh yeah, I own my house. You own shit. You own nothing. You know what you own? You own the fact that if you stop paying your property taxes after your house is paid off for 10 years and you can't afford because of whatever catastrophe, the city and the county can come in and repossess your house and sell it to anybody they want. Oh, yeah, but you went to college. You're smarter than the rest of us. And these are the people that are making fun of us, by the way. The reality, folks, is the system is broken. The system needs to be changed. The next time I see somebody laugh at GESARA and NESARA, a flat tax system that makes perfect good sense, I'm going to take you down publicly. I'm going to make you look foolish. I have the ability within me to do that. I took over a few live casts lately. So if you guys want to hang out on Twitter or live podcasts, there's a possibility you'll see me in there and I speak my mind and I'm like a machine trying to get the message out. Oh, the lady said yesterday, some lady with I'm a doctor, PhD. Well, gives a shit. Oh, GESARA and NESARA is a joke. I said, how is it a joke? Can you explain it to me? She had no answers, obviously. It sounds like a liberal, right? So I said, when I set out to do this, I didn't set out to do this without proving it. I set out to do it with proof. I have proof. I said, what do you have? I have irrefutable, irrevocable documentation. What do you have? And crickets, zero. I'm so tired of these people. They're just a bunch of parakeets that regurgitate anything they hear because they have no real answers. Oh, I'm a PhD. Stick it up your fucking ass. Who gives a shit? You're a PhD when you make blanket statements like that. Oh, GESARA NESARA is a scam, and then you have nothing to back it up with, makes you look foolish. Your PhD isn't worth a public high school diploma. Do you understand? I've read the document. QFS1776.com. It lives somewhere on that website. I don't know exactly where, but it's somewhere on that website. The original document. We're the only ones that have it. QFS1776.com. Thanks to our old administrator, Mirko, who found it. Credit and kudos to you, my friend, if you're out there listening. It lives at QFS1776.com. You read that document, you watch all the videos, you watch all of the testimonials. I think I brought off enough people forward that prove beyond a shadow of a doubt with documentation, that have had debt forgiveness, mortgages, credit card loans, car loans, student loans. I brought at least a dozen forward. And for every person that I brought forward, there was at least 20 or 30 that I've seen the documentation that didn't want to come forward. I can't put a gun to people's head and say, you got to come forward. They want to stay under the radar because they're still afraid of the boogeyman. That's not my fault. Anyway, I'm sorry for not doing as many podcasts as possible since I've been back from Manhattan, but the reality is I got into a little bit of a lazy slump, and I'm out of that lazy slump, as you can hear in my voice. Tonight, we're going to be having our first podcast since I've been back, and it's going to be a great podcast. Hopefully, my friend Brian, who wants to break into the podcasting world, will join us. I know that my good friend Tom Bushman is going to join us. I mean, these two guys are two peas of a pod. I had to really think long and hard who Brian would fit well with, and Tom Bushman is going to be a perfect fit like a glove. And I can't wait to have those two together. I think we're going to capture lightning in a bottle. And I think you guys are going to agree. These guys believe in a lot of the same stuff. But you see, both Tom and both Brian are very, very well spoken, a lot more polished than the pizza guy by far. And I could tell you they have tremendous potential. What they do with that potential is up to them. They both want to tap into becoming podcasters. I think they both have a bright future if they put the pedal to the metal and they're consistent and they do one podcast a day, every day, 6 days a week, especially in the beginning. Minimum one. You should do two a day. One that's maybe 30, 40 minutes, and the other one should be maybe 15, 20 minutes. We should do two every day as a podcaster. I'm not here to stop anybody, folks. I'm here to put as many generals on the field and as many soldiers on the field as I possibly can. You know why? Mel is not here to save the world by himself. As tough as you guys think I am, as big as you guys think I am, I'm not big enough. And in order for me to get bigger, I got to get together with like-minded people and see who's got talent. I'm sort of like, America's Got Talent. I'm a one-man show with Amber over here. I drive that poor girl crazy. Yeah, and do we have a couple of bumps in the road with the gold business? Absolutely. But if someone orders gold today, can I get the gold to them? Absolutely. You better believe it. Okay? And so we're about to do a couple of little two pieces of the puzzles that are left, and then we'll be able to go real fast. When you start seeing me doing my rounds on the gold business and going around on all the different podcasts, we are set for prime time. And you'll know that very, very soon. But anyway, folks, here's my thought. You cannot be in this war and sit on the sidelines and expect all of us to do it for you. And don't you dare give up. Yesterday, I bought part of the fact on Drew Pearson. I think is it? I don't know. This is the guy's name. I just mentioned them earlier. The name will come to me again. I'm bad with names. I apologize, but it is what it is. He made the movie. Died suddenly. He's about to come up with another documentary. Incredible, talented young man. Just we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. But I could tell you that at one point I said something and they all, I said, I'm part of that 17th movement. Oh man, did they jump down my fucking throat? Did they jump down my throat? I said, look, eat the meat and throw away the bones. I don't believe everything I read about the 17th movement because there's a lot of disinformation out there. You have to eat the meat and throw away the bones. You have to use your discernment and say, okay, yeah, that sounds plausible. Let's go with that. That sounds plausible. Let's go with that. No, that sounds too far-fetched. Forget about that. And what might be meat for me might not be meat for you. Everybody's got their own discernment and it works differently for everybody. But I could tell you what, nothing's happening. Trust the plan. They all made fun of trust the plan. They all made fun of it. You know why? Because nothing's happening. Because they don't understand that this is a war. This is a psyop on many fronts. But is Q a psyop? Parts of it are. Parts of it are. Even if you go to the actual channel where they drop the breadcrumbs, okay, there are some people that have infiltrated that movement, I believe, that are there to put disinformation out. Again, eat the meat and throw away the bones. Folks, I wish I could tell you it's going to be smooth sailing going forward. I don't know that to be a fact. I do know that everybody I've talked to has a scenario regarding President Biden, the clone, part 6, part 7 of the clone. I have no idea. It's definitely not him. We know all that. We know all of that. And we had some people, at least on that call, the guy who made the movie died suddenly, agree with me on the fact that it's not him. So they don't believe in Q, but they see some of them are eating the meat and throwing away the bones. So with that said, there are so many scenarios. Everybody I talked to Tom Bushman this morning, or this afternoon rather, and he's got his own scenario, which it will be on the podcast most likely tonight. I've talked to people who say, oh, they're going to bring in Big Mike and then Joe Biden is going to die and then Big Mike is going to be the president. I've heard that scenario. Big Mike would have to do one thing. He'd have to prove that he is a female. He's going to have a hard time doing that simply because the doctors at the top of the food chain, even though they're not out publicly as conspiracy analysts like we are, I can assure you they know what the hell is going on. And they're not going to put their life on the line for Big Mike or anybody else say, oh, yeah, no, he doesn't have a penis. He has a vagina. That's not going to happen. You know why? Because Guantanamo Bay is very real. And there's going to be fucking hell to pay. So whoever can save their life at this point, that sees the tea leaves and understands that they're losing by a lot, you think for 1 second that they're going to put their balls on the line, no pun intended, for Big Mike? I don't think so. I don't think so. What I do think is that from the looks of it, this is my hypothesis of what I think is going to happen. I think this robot, clone, whatever he is, he's going to go all the way till the end. He's so power hungry, driven, whatever it is. They can't make the clone better than the original. We know that to be a fact, because if that was the case, we would have had a very sharp debate a few days ago. That did not happen. The debate was absolutely, in my opinion, Trump lived up to his word. Trump said, you know what? You never interrupt an enemy when he's hanging himself. And boy, did he actually lives by these mottos, and he does not break his own freaking rules. He did not interrupt this man while he was hanging himself. And I believe he did that flawlessly. Flawlessly. We'll see what happens on part 2. It's going to be very, very interesting. Welcome to CarminesGold.com. Don't waste not even a second looking. Cheaper prices just don't exist. How important is it for you to own gold and silver right now? What does it mean to me personally? There's an economy that's about to crash beyond what words can explain. In 5 words, I'm going to educate you on gold and silver. Are you ready? You need to own some. Simple. Time is of the essence as the walls are closing in. This crash is visibly in motion right now. Don't kid yourself. The only way to preserve wealth is to become your own central bank. Just by owning gold and silver, the banks that are going into survival mode are currently stacking gold and silver like it's going out of style. You have the same opportunity instead of keeping your money in paper, which is worthless. Again, this is not financial advice. Going into survival mode is everything. Preserving your wealth and positioning your family to thrive in the near future is paramount. The time to take action is beyond crucial. God's money cannot be faked. It's got intrinsic value. It's got plenty of usability. And because the crypto game could be extremely complicated for most, this becomes the only way to preserve your wealth in the current times we live in. The price manipulation that has occurred over the last 150 years is about to come to a full stop as we move into an extremely different world. And the true value of gold and silver is going to shine like never before. The people who vividly see what's happening have moved into panic buying right now. The people who get it, who are positioned for wealth preservation, who are accumulating every week, every month, stand to change their course of history for 100 generations to come. Buying gold and silver from CarminesGold.com at unbeatable prices is the best decision you'll ever make. I'm going to end by saying this. This is my opinion and not financial advice. This crash is knocking on the door, and it's clear. It's here. We can fill any size order, $500, $500,000, and yes, even $10 million. Your best option to preserve wealth, if you don't understand cryptocurrency, is gold and silver. Do it now.